Hello and welcome to Coming Into Being. Another one of our adventures into just taking time for ourselves and just being. So grab yourself a cup of tea or some water and we'll get started. If you're stopping in, I keep forgetting last time. I don't like to do that till the end. Let's focus on being first and then we'll get to the advertising, right? So here we are, taking that time to connect with ourselves and connect in. And just taking that time to be with ourselves. Hey, Wisdom Happy, if you're stopping in the chat, do feel free to say hello. It's always fun to see who's out there, but don't feel like you don't have to if you don't want to. That's fine. You can just sit back like a fly on the wall and relax and chill, and it's all good. So let's see where we go today. We've been having some really good sessions lately. As always, yeah. So taking that time to take a moment to just sit in your environment and look around you and get a sense of, see if you can just kind of get a sense of the size of your being, your body in the environment you're in. So if you're outdoors, then that's a pretty big environment. If you're in a room, then there's the room and there's, how you fit into that room, how you fit into the area that you're in. If you're outdoors, you can take the wider area. Just kind of having a sense of that, having a sense of your body in that space and how much space it takes up in that environment. And really allow your awareness to just pull into yourself to get that sense. Looking all around. Asta on the other side. Hello, Asta. And even just, I'm sorry, I've got something in my eye here. This feels like a grain of sand, but feeling is, just noticing how you do that, how you take the time to just kind of come into that a little bit more present and noticing you. And here it's in the context of your environment. And noticing how that alone just kind of shifts you into more present, more kind of slowed down a little bit. It's always good to slow down every once in a while at least. And letting your breath slow down, your breathing rate slow down. Maybe inhaling through your nose for a count of 5, holding for a count of 2, and then exhaling for a count of 8 if you can. And then starting all over again with that rhythm. Let's do a few rounds of that. Exhaling for a longer count, what that does is that just kind of brings you down, slows you down, brings you down, relaxes, gets you into that slower mode of being, that restful mode of being. And allowing yourself to just be aware of whatever's coming up for you, wherever you're at in the moment, And I say what's coming up for you because when we start to slow down, we start to notice those little things that are kind of lying down lower that we've just kind of put on the back burner because we've been running around all day or whatever, and just kind of um, coming into a quieter space, and that shows up. So half and half. I see kind of half the group is more or less in a neutral place, and the other half is just kind of having. So it's like your head hanging down and like, oh God, okay, just kind of getting by. But we always want to be more than just getting by, right? And we just go in these places sometimes, these times, these moments where it's getting by. So allowing yourself to just, wherever you're at, even if it's positive, allowing yourself to just kind of relax into that. It's positive, if it's negative, if it's neutral, whatever. Hey, Sydney. A bit late, right on time. Right on time, no worries. And just feeling yourself, just as you're present with yourself with whatever's coming up. And you might be half and half. There's a feeling of that too. Just kind of part of you is kind of like perky and in a good mood, and then the other half is like, kind of like, notice that, if that's the case, notice that. Notice if there's any differences, let's say let's take the top half. So notice like from your waist up, where you are at from your waist up. What's that part of you feels like today? It describes my day. Well, that's the state you're in. That's why I said that without saying you specifically. Yeah. Notice, excuse me, notice just the, waist on up, sense yourself, have a sense of yourself. Okay, then let's take a deep breath in, hold it for a couple counts, and then release it out. And then focusing on the waist down to your feet. Feeling the difference. Yeah, just feeling what that feels like and noticing, we have something to compare with. It makes it a lot easier to have a sense of what's what. So feeling that, noticing that. And maybe it feels like void. It's like, well, I can kind of feel my legs, but it feels like there's nothing there. It feels like just tuning into void land. Energetically, there being nothing, So that kind of feels like there's somebody in this group, at least one person who's got that. Yeah, especially one person in particular. So noticing that. So that means you are not really present in that area of your body for there could be a lot of reasons. A lot of reasons is you're always pulled up in your head. You're always running away from things. And not necessarily present moment things, but it could have been a running away from before, from a while. Taking a deep breath in and kind of acknowledging whatever might be coming up for you with that. And there's still, everybody on this call, there's a disjointedness in there. I mean, you might be kind of in your legs, but then there's somewhere in between, your shoulders and your feet. There's areas where you are present, areas where you're not, which is pretty common for everybody. Yeah. Noticing those areas where you're not. Noticing what those areas feel like. Feel tired or weighed down, sad, frozen. That woke something up in somebody. Yeah, that's good. Frozen, all of a sudden realizing it's like, whoa, yeah. It does kind of feel like that. And what that means is that at some point there was some trauma experience and a survival mechanism just said, okay, we're just going to put a lid on this right now, we'll get back to it later. Let's just put in the deep freeze and we'll come back to it later. But I can't right now in this moment. I just got to get through because I can't deal with all this, all of what's going on. So we'll get back to it later. So coming out of the deep freeze now. And I mean, another way you can look at it is what's coming out of the deep freeze is that core essence of yourself that's been impacted, kind of put in a deep ice cube surrounded with this frozen stuff. So, and just stored away just for protection. Just allowing that to come open. So that's what I'm seeing happen. It's kind of like along the second scenario there. It's there's this brightness that's there, that's wanting to come forward. Deep breath. Let's drop down into the core of the earth. And just keep reaching, up and down. And keep your awareness focused on the earth dropping into the core of the earth. Nobody's there yet. Nobody's there yet. Keep going. You want to be there, but you're not there yet. So keep your awareness there. I'm just it'll shift, but it's not there yet. Yeah. Some of what's going on is I want somebody else to do this for me. And what that tells me is that that if you're feeling like that, is that you probably were the adult for when you were a little kid, at least the emotional, energetic kid. And so you were doing it all you were the adult back then. So it's like you were taking care of everybody. And now it's like, well, gosh, I just want somebody else to do this for me. You didn't get taken care of properly, is what that amounts to. Keep your awareness. We're not. You guys are having a hard time grounding today. That's all right. As a group. So let's take another deep breath in. Hold it at the top, and then slowly let the air out of your mouth through your mouth, and letting yourself just slide down, just like you're falling onto a pillow bed. Your head just dropping back on a pillow, relaxing in, relaxing down. This is not about doing it for anybody else. It's about doing it for yourself. So that's another piece about having grown up as an adult, being an adult when you're a little kid, is that you've learned to do it for other people, but you haven't learned to do it for yourself. And doing it for the other people does not make it doing it for yourself. Okay, we're going to work through this. That's fine. That's why we're here. There's just a resistance in the group right now of really connecting in. A lot of tiredness, a lot of like, God, always having to do this, you know. It's like, when are we going to be done with having to do this? You're going to be done when you're done. Basically, you know, it's a process. It's not that you get it once and then that's it. That's not how it really works. Even awakening, it's always an unfolding process. You're always growing into more. You're always expanding into more. But I've said it before, you know, I've said it, I'll say it again. Because I think it's important to understand, because people don't talk about it this way, but grounding is a relative term. It's relative to where you have been, what you're used to. You go down a little bit from there, and then it's like, wow, I really feel grounded. It's like, yeah, there's so much more to go. So that's a lot of what's going on. And there's just this piece, I think basically everybody here is that you want an adult to, it's like that inner child kind of piece, and you want an adult to like take you by the hand and show you. So it's like your inner child is just showing up and saying, it's kind of being pouty, you know, and for good reason. It's not a bad, you know, not a negative thing here. That's just where you're at. So you're in the space, you're in the right space. I'm here to guide you. I'm not necessarily being the adult for you. I'll take you by the hand, but I'm guiding you in that place so you can have that sense of support. But I'm not going to really do it for you. I'll help you, but I won't do it for you. I'll help you get there yourself. So just feeling that kind of feeling, whiny, I guess you could call it whiny, you know, but, and there's a little bit of, I just want this to be over because it feels so uncomfortable. All we're doing is working on grounding here, but this is like so important. And we don't really learn that. We don't really have that sense of value of it in modern culture. There's a lot that's shifting, so this is good. We're clearing in a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. And Instagram, you might be hearing the fan of my computer there. Sorry about that. And with each exhale, just allowing yourself to relax more deeply, just feeling your muscles just kind of relax, feeling your physical body relax more out. And yeah, there we go. Little by little, that's good. Just like that weight that's just dropping down, following that weight down. And feeling whatever resistance is coming up for you, in whatever way. It could be resistance to something that's come up during the day, resistance to relaxing. You're trying to relax and you can't. You're trying to stay focused and you can't. Your mind, maybe it's going all over the place. So resistance can be showing up differently for everybody here. That resistance to just connecting in, just being more relaxed, just coming into yourself, letting yourself let go. Ha! And there's a little bit of what's coming up is sort of like, I don't know how to do this. You can feel yourself just in a place of really trying to let go. I've got a funny story for you guys on that as an example, but I was doing some kind of, I can't remember what you would call it, but kind of like this outward bound, and you've got like all these different obstacle courses that you go through nature. And this was a while back, and one of them was you're on this up really high up in this kind of swing, and you're all strapped in. So um, there's something about you're holding on to this rope, and then at some point you have to just let go. But you're all strapped in, so you're not going to fall anywhere. And I'm not figured out how to let go. I'm holding on to this rope as I'm swinging back and forth, and I'm supposed to let go. And I'm like, and everybody on the ground is going, let go, Marianne, let go. And I'm like, I couldn't figure out how I was holding on. And it went on for several moments. And all of a sudden I realized I'm holding on to this rope, and I let go of the rope and let myself fall back and swing. So letting go is not always easy because you can't, you're not realizing what you're holding on to. So focusing on your breath, come into your breath, and just just as you exhale, just saying relax, allowing to your muscles to relax a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. And it's also, when you've been working really hard, you take that vacation, you get in the hammock. The hammock is that gentle swing where you're just relaxing more and more, and it takes like a really long time to let go, even just mentally, and just drift off because your system has been so much on go, 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 and then it takes that time to let go. So you're kind of going through that right now, and it's not just because you guys have all been working really hard and work, whatever. This has been going on for a long time in your lives. So this is going to a deeper letting go, letting go of holding on, letting go of surviving to the next piece. And we're good there. It's happening very gently, very slowly, and that's fine. That's good. Carolina, hello. Yeah. So you guys are good. Yeah, you guys are getting there. It's a little bit of a struggle there at the beginning, but that's okay. Sometimes we just go through that. So we just have to get to that right place. There we go. Yeah. And kind of in that place, that gentle place of just allowing that relaxation, and just like that hammock thing where it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper, just slowly. So yeah, let's just go with this. It's always good to get in that space where you can just relax more deeply and let yourself let go just a little bit more. And all those defenses just kind of coming off in this moment. I'm just going to, while you guys are just sitting back and just swinging in that hammock and just relaxing more, I'm going to bring in some more coherence for you in your field. Yeah. Just gently bringing that in. Let's just anchor that in for you. Might feel a little strange. It feels like it's like one person and a couple of people, but that's just feeling a little awkward because you're so used to having no boundaries. And also it feels like you're getting contained. So be aware of that. Just breathe into that, because that's not a bad thing. Restrictions are not a bad thing. Limitations are not necessarily a bad thing. In this case, it's not. It's to support you having that separation from everything else and getting bombarded by everything, because there is a million pieces of information that's always coming into our system every moment that is not necessarily physical information, but that your brain is registering. If you think about it, if the brain will register about 7 to 10 seconds information before we are conscious of it. That says a lot. So bringing in just that soft, I'll say a soft boundary so that feels flexible. You know, like if you think of a soap bubble, and that feels just kind of very flexible and very soft, but without necessarily bursting that easily, but just allowing that to, instead of, if you think of like a cast iron shield, that's really not flexible. It's me, I'm having a really hard time. Gone sleepless again, that's fine. Yeah, no worries. And if you're having a hard time, if you think you're having a hard time because I see it. I misread that. Okay. You've been sleepless again. Yeah. And so the sleeplessness is because of those boundaries. Yeah. Not having them. You're like way out. You really are working on that. Yes. So I want to acknowledge that. Yeah. So focusing on your body, coming back and noticing your eyebrows, the bridge of your nose, your nostrils, your eyelashes, that folds on the inside of your ear. You keep doing that. You keep bringing your mind back to that. It will take you to sleep. It really will. But it's that how long it takes is the amount of time it takes you to disconnect from like being hyper alert for things that are outside of your field. So, yeah. There we go. And here you are now, connected into the core of the earth. Wow, very nice. Yeah. Now you're saying I didn't have to hold you. You kind of you just went there yourself. With my guidance, you went there yourself, and now it's that sense of being held by the earth. So taking you out of that dependence on me to do it for you, to be able to have that experience for yourself, guiding you to it, to something that you're always connected to. You're always on the earth, at least as while you're alive. So it's always there. Yeah, very nice. And if you have your eyes closed and you're not too much in the really relaxed zone, like wisdom happy, maybe just keep your eyes closed for now, because I know you're dealing with that sleeplessness. But if you're relaxed, if you feel yourself really relaxed, your eyes are closed, gently and softly opening up your eyes and looking at something very softly, not staring at it. You know how when you wake up, you're kind of half awake and you're kind of, your eyes are kind of flickering a little bit and you're just noticing your environment a little bit, yeah. And with that soft awareness, it's also kind of this place where you're usually like aware, like 180 degrees, peripheral. You've got that peripheral awareness when you're relaxed, letting yourself feel this deeper state of relaxation. Being aware of your environment. So kind of anchoring in that experience of being in your environment and having a sense of, that feeling of relaxation. And there's always more relaxation to come, but it's a little bit deeper than when you came into. Go. How's everybody doing? So if I close my eyes, then I go into my head. I think I was trying to stay focused on you as a focal point. Okay. You can stay focused on the voice. Yeah, that's fine. That's a place to start, just to get you out of that. Da, 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 da. It sounds like a great CID I've missed. Well, you came in about halfway through, but yeah. And in the beginning, all we were doing, you didn't miss a whole lot, but yeah. It's always nice to go back and listen and kind of start from the beginning, though. So focusing on the sound, focusing on my voice, that's fine. Just to kind of anchor your head, your mind, your runaround, you know, and all what that's basically indicating is the lack of boundaries that's going on for you. Because if you keep pulling in and pulling in, and having a lot of distortions around you. So when you have a lot of distortions around you, it's because there's some, we can call it leaking, because it's kind of coming into you. It's coming into your space, and when it shouldn't be, and then the head starts. That your thoughts just. I mean, that's a symptom that I notice. I think that's probably a common symptom. It's like as soon as you get distortions, your mind goes da 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 da. You clear out the distortions, and distortions basically frequencies that are not yours, that are in your system, whether they are from the past or whether they are from just now, this more current past, and somebody coming into here because you're coming into your space, because you're spread out much further, you're miles out from yourself instead of just arm's length out. And if you put your arms out to your side, fingertips touching the edge of your field, and you're way beyond that. So that's distorting, because that means you're not in your space. So this isn't just for Wisdom Happy. This kind of happens to various degrees, various ways here. You're pulled out, and so that dissipates it's like it dissipates your concentration, and then like you've got all this other stuff that you're overlapping with, and here, so it's going, and that will cause the mind to go all over the place, and be disruptive. Yeah. So as you pull in, kind of see that central core line. Imagine a line, just bright light, just going straight down your center of your body and your being, and pulling into that, and you just pull, keep it, and it feels like you're literally like squeezing yourself in from all directions, and pulling in, and it will start to feel really tight. You're having to pee every 10 minutes. You've got a problem with your adrenals. You've got to work on your adrenals too. It's not connected. It's connected, yes. So what's happening is your psychopathic roommate, as you call her, is triggering all this for you. But because you have no boundaries, because you're unable to hold your boundaries and to really stay in, you don't have that. Your adrenals are constantly going off, or they're never shutting down. That's what's causing you to pee all the time. No, boundaries specifically connected to you, period. End of story. It's not your roommate is one area where you're noticing it, but if you have problems with boundaries with your roommate, you have problems with boundaries all the time in a lot of areas. So it's not just your roommate. And sleeplessness is connected to you not being able to maintain your space and maintain control of your space. Bring it back to yourself. You're going to help yourself a lot more. I'm not saying you're completely wrong that your roommate is it's not an issue. It's a difficult situation to be in, absolutely. But this is also a challenge for you to help you come into your body, to make it so obvious to you how you're not in your body, how you're not, and your body, your energy field, your whole system is not, you're not holding it together. And that's why that's showing up for you. This is, you're going to the gym basically, and you've got those 500-pound weights to work at, and you're saying, well, it's the fault of 500 pounds that I can't lift it. It's like, yeah, the 500 pounds are there to get you going. You got to move up to that. So you got to build up to that. And you're working on it, but you got to start change. You're going to change it around faster for yourself if you stop doing that. It's this external source. I'm not saying it has nothing to do with the external source, but what I'm saying is that when you turn that around and say, okay, what in me is causing me to have this problems where I can't hold my boundaries, I can't get to sleep, I'm so triggered by everything around me in my house, in my whatever, that I cannot control myself and I cannot contain myself and I'm not in charge of myself. What's going on inside of me that I can't do that for myself? Then you start unwinding, you start unlocking those pieces that are programming inside of you that are telling you, this is going to unfold this way for you. And when you start to realize that, it's like, oh, okay, well, let's switch that. Let's stop doing that. I'm not supporting myself here. Let's stop this. You're going to move faster through it. It's not necessarily going to be easier, but you're going to move through it faster and get to the other end faster than if you keep saying, it's because of something external to me. Again, it's not that nothing external to you it's never an issue. It's just, this is the one place where you can have power for yourself, over yourself. It's like, what is it in me that's doing this, that's causing this situation? And shifting that for yourself, pulling out those patterns and changing that for yourself. Sydney, going through a similar thing, feels like my adrenals have been chopped permanently. Yeah, they've been chopped for a whole. It's just been, yeah. And people who are highly sensitive can really easily get their adrenals just overworked and messed up. And that still comes down to boundary issues because you don't have control over yourself. You're allowing yourself to get triggered. And permanently, let's get rid of the word permanently. You need to do, if your adrenals are really off, and I was just talking to somebody earlier about this. So I don't know if this is coming up for a lot of people. It comes down, adrenals, it's really simple. The first and most important thing you have to do is shift your diet. Get off of anything that's an accelerant, like sugar, like caffeine, like chocolate, like tea. Get off of alcohol, get off of processed foods, get off of fried foods, get off of hard cheeses, red meat, eat greens, eat yogurt, eat nuts, oils, you know, a lot like grilled chicken, grilled pork, things like that. Get yourself some stress tabs, 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C per day, plus a B complex, magnesium to support your adrenals. There's some other things like that, but at least those. And you got to give yourself at least 3 months of being really good with your diet and your lifestyle, not running around all over the place, to give yourself, your adrenals and yourself time to rest. So, yeah. And you want to do it now, and don't wait until you're in menopause, because then it really is even harder to deal with. There's a lot more. And then if your adrenals are off, your thyroid is going to be off, your ovaries are also going to be off. There's those three, they're kind of hooking together for women. So do that. Do that. Highly recommended that you do that. And yeah. Okay, let's take a nice deep breath in. Letting it all go. Letting go of the frustration that's coming up. I'm sorry if you don't like hearing what I've had to say, but it's not fun, I know. I just want you to get moving faster for yourselves, and that's what I'm here for. Really help you get squared away instead of keeping that cycle going for yourself. Yeah. And I know you know that. Yeah. All of you. Yeah. And sometimes, sometimes it's hard to keep going with being an adult, because again, if you didn't have proper parenting, and so just that sense that you weren't taken care of as a child, and so now it's like, it's really frustrating, because here I'm sitting here, it's not, nope, you gotta own up here. You gotta step up to the plate, which is like, okay, I'm not going to do this for you. I'm not going to be your parent. I'm not going to take care of you. That it feels like it perpetuates that wounding from before, but it's not. It's to get you into that place where you can take care of yourself, because you've never done this before. So yes, thyroid and ovaries have been affected too. Yeah, they come in together. Those three, adrenals, thyroid, and ovaries together, will just, they'll all kind of get activated together. So just start with the diet thing. You don't necessarily have to do a lot, but just start with that diet thing, just to get the adrenals kind of just calmer. And basically, it's a lifestyle change. And it's not like, oh, in 3 months and I can go back to eating like all this stuff. You probably will just, I wish I could eat chocolate, it's like, but I don't. I don't anymore. I kind of by osmosis. I got the poll earlier today to buy lots of greens tomorrow. Yep, good. Lots of greens. Very good. Yeah. So keep at it. Keep at it. Give yourself a pat on the back. Wisdom happy. I know it's like really frustrating for you, because you just want to be done with this. But I'll tell you what, change your mindset around that, and use that. So it's like, okay, this is a really tough place to be in, but damn it, I'm going to make use of this so that it never happens to me again. So I will use this situation to look at everything that is in me that I can shift for myself, that is contributing to my having to go through this, so that I can shift everything and never have to deal with this again. Use that mindset for yourself. And Come into owning yourself more. Okay, well, good. Kind of another hardcore. I feel like this is another hardcore gym workout here. I've been incorporating lots of more chicken, yogurt, seeds over the past month or two. Yeah. Yeah, so good. So that means you're listening to your body more. So that's good. So confirming for you. Yeah. So do more of that. So a confirmation of that. Just don't make it fried anything, fried chicken. Just grilled is okay, but not fried. Yeah, very good. All right, good work, everybody. There's my value donation. If for those who care to make a donation, that's fine. And we'll see you next Wednesday for another adventure in coming into being and see where that takes us. Sometimes it's the hard workout, core exercise workout at the gym. Sometimes it's the more chill exercise. Yeah, you've been kind of like just in the back, quiet there, Asta. So again, wisdom happy. Take a look at that and says, okay, I'm in a you're in a tough situation, and I will not disagree on that. But then this is like, okay, how ask yourself, how am I going to use this situation so that I clean up all these bad programmings that I'm having that I have internally to me that's causing this to happen to me, so that I never have to do it again. And it's not, and running over to your brother's house is a band-aid on a gaping wound. It's not taking care of the issue. So start asking yourself the right questions, guys. How can I use this situation to strengthen? What do I need to change within myself to strengthen so that I never have to do this again? So that, God damn it, I'm going to own myself. Have that attitude. It's like, nope, I'm not going to, no. I don't care how much this person yells at me, says, I'm going to stand there and I'm not going to budge. I feel like once I start implementing these things, something huge is going to change my living situation. Yeah, good. Yes, and like gym work, yeah, right. So anyways, yeah, I just kind of been quiet and kind of like the fly on the wall, which is fine. Just kind of taking it all in and moving forward too. So everybody, good work, everybody. Hardcore today, but good for all of you for being here. And take care, and we'll see you next Sunday for another adventure in